All right.
Hey,
Welcome, welcome.
welcome. Hi,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. And hey, friends, welcome back to Dating Differently, the podcast where we talk about modern dating with clarity, compassion, and self trust.
All right, well, I'm ready for it. This is how you look mighty pretty in your sparkling glitter there, red. We both kind of sparkling together.
I love it. I
Sparkling
love
together. I wonder why. Why are we looking so sparkly and red today? We're always in red, but why so sparkly?
Well, it is Galentine's Day.
It's
Happy
Valentine's
Galentine's
Day,
Day.
and Valentine's Day is tomorrow.
It is. It is. Isn't that
It's,
interesting? Kind of what we're talking about today. I think that fits right in.
it sure
You know,
does. Tell us about it.
sometimes they don't like you like that.
Mm, mm.
But if they do, we're going to talk about that today. And I'm excited about it.
If they don't, we're gonna talk about that too.
So today we're talking about really the hard truth when we talk about dating, because sometimes they really don't like us like that, and
Mhm.
sometimes they do. And the problem isn't which one it is. The problem is really when we abandon ourselves trying to force clarity, speed, and commitment. Would you agree, Dr. Conti?
I agree. I really do. I think it's okay to know and be upfront with yourself. I always say the truth is the truth, whether you admit it or not. And so sometimes we just believe if we go along to get along and go in denial and don't admit the truth, that
Yeah.
this person really is not liking me like that, or it's not feeling like it should. And we just keep going on with something, and we shouldn't do that
Yeah.
because it's okay. It's okay because what I do know is when it's right or when it's supposed to be, confusion isn't a part of it. So it's clarity, like you said, clarity. You're not trying to get their approval. You're not trying to force something to fit. It feels right. But we as singles, and I'm not going to say women because men do it too.
Hmm.
We as singles have got to learn that when it doesn't feel right, they're just not into you like that.
Yeah. It's about self respect, about pacing, about discernment. And we're going to talk about some of those things today. We're going to talk about how to know the difference, how to stand firm when it matters, how to emotionally disengage without becoming cold,
Mhm.
and what a really healthy dating timeline actually looks like.
I like that.
I
Yeah.
know that part of my coaching work, I help clients with that, with timelines. And
Mhm.
so let's go right into it. I know
Okay.
the first one, go for it.
All right. Well, first of all, I think you all know who I am, but I'm Dr. Conti Terrell, just in case you do not. And I
Mm.
love to help you be able to love intentionally and love from a healed place. And sometimes even being able to recognize those who are not aligned with us, and when chemistry does not mean compatibility, even if it's dressed up in a really, really nice I was getting ready to throw a name out there. Nice suit, say Yves Saint Laurent suit, or some red bottoms, or whatever it is. It doesn't mean it's still right. But we have there was a movie. They just don't like you like that, or he's just not that into you. That's what the
Not
movie
into
was.
yeah, not
Yeah, that
into
was the
you like
movie, but
that.
he's just not that into you. And so, what I'd like to talk about is if you are confused,
Mm,
and if the information does not seem like it's computing, and you're getting all of these mixed messages, it's usually that person is not being consistent with you and not liking you like that. Because what I have learned, Demi, is that it shouldn't. It's loving somebody is not as hard as it should be, as
yeah,
we make it. It's not that hard. And when you both are on the same path and you both are wanting the same thing, even if you're not sure yet it's going to be the two of you, but
yeah,
you both have the same end goal, then it's not that hard. And it shouldn't be that hard. But if you're constantly feeling like you're pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling, then that means it's probably not the right thing. And so I know you're going to talk a little bit later about what to do if it is, because it really might be. But
yeah.
I find in my practice and me counseling women and singles is that we have a whole lot of time, have a whole lot of problems letting go.
I
Letting
I want to ask a question and throw it out there just to
Mhm.
everyone as you get started, because you pointed, I mean, you touched on something, but I'd like to know, what's the purpose of going on a date? For those of you that are listening, what is your purpose for going on a date
Put
or
it in the chat.
meeting or getting to know? Put
Put
it
it
in the
in the chat.
chat. Yeah.
Yeah, and say hello to us. I see some people popping on. Say hello. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Happy Valentine weekend to you. And let me tell you, I just posted today that if you are single on this Valentine weekend, meaning you're not dating anyone, I want you to salute yourself. So you can put a heart in there to yourself if you're not dating someone right now, and salute yourself, because one of the things that I said today in my post is that may mean that you didn't settle. That may mean that you are true to yourself and you're holding out, for the right person. All right. So, but if you are ready to, if you realize this is not your person and you want to walk away, I'm often saying you don't need closure.
Mm.
You have to have courage. And courage is two things. Wisdom, excuse me, you have to have wisdom. And wisdom is twofold. I always say wisdom is knowing what to do and then having the courage to do what you know. And so sometimes we know what to do. We know this is not working and we're trying to fit it in and put a square in a triangle and make it work, and it's just not going to work. So the wisdom is having that courage to do what you know and not taking so long to do it. Because if your nervous system is out of whack, it knows before your heart does.
Yeah.
What it's going to admit to and what's going to be right. So be true to yourself and decide early if they just don't like you like that. And it's okay.
And I like that. And that's why I asked, I want to see if we have those that are on that are answering, what's the purpose of going on a date? And I know you've talked about this before, so I'm going to have you touch on it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it to kind of see where it goes? Is it to have fun, to see what the potential is? But I know what I coach and teach, it's the purpose, and you do the same thing of
Yes.
really dating is
Gathering information.
and it's gathering information,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So if we
That's
realize
a new concept though, Demi. That's a new concept to a lot of people. So today I heard someone say that I'm often saying we have 2 ears, 2 eyes, and 1 mouth for a reason. That's to close our mouth, not talk as much, open our ears, watch double as much because we have 2, and even listen double as much, excuse me, and even watch more as much as well. Yeah. So if you're listening and you're watching, then you shouldn't be talking, because what I heard today is that when we're talking, we're giving. When we're not talking, we're receiving. So we can listen and watch and see what is aligning, if this person actions are aligning with their words. And you can only do that when you're dating and gathering information. That's how you gather information. You watch and you listen and you be quiet.
So it's not attachment. It's not a fantasy. It's not fast forwarding in a relationship mode. And if they like you, so I'm going to add that part, they pursue consistently. They follow up.
Yes.
They clarify. They make room for you.
Yes. Plan dates. Yeah. And if you have to tell someone that, then that's not your person. I don't think, and we had this conversation, and you all know that me and Demi, we name our people. And so when if you have to remind even this weekend, if you got to remind somebody that you're dating that, hey, did you make the reservations? Or hey, did you, are we wearing, look, you're trying to figure out, are we going anywhere? So how should I dress? Or if you got to ask all those questions, they're not being intentional. And I just really believe if someone likes you like that, And I have had to have that same hard truth with myself and say, girl, he hasn't planned anything. He's not doing anything. He's just showing up haphazardly. So it's, where's my no button? It's a no.
You know, and I think we've had the same conversation. I know I've had it, but I didn't have the conversation with myself. I had the conversation with him.
Oh, I had a conversation with him too. The conversation.
You don't like me like that.
The conversation with myself. Oh yeah, you did. You did. Yeah, we had to talk about that. You did. You had a conversation with somebody. I don't think you like me like that.
You don't like me like that, but that's okay. We're good.
It's okay.
So how do we stand firm in what's important? So in coaching, I always ask, what are the unspoken rules you believe people should follow when dating?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And many of us were taught, you don't ask too many questions. You don't seem real needy. You kind of go with the flow. You don't want to scare them off. But standing firm really isn't demanding.
Right.
It's alignment. It's
alignment.
The standards that you have.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Deshawn. I sent out a little text and letting everybody know it was going live, and I see her on here. Awesome. Good. Should have sent out some more. Didn't send out as many as I wanted to, but so glad to have you on here. But the other thing about standing firm, Demi, is a lot of times we feel like we're doing too much.
Yeah.
What you require is not too much. It may just be too much for the wrong person. Again, that person who just don't like you like that. So if you're requiring respect, if you're requiring consistency, if you're requiring intentionality, and they're not in communication, and they're not being able to do that, then you're not asking too much. You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah. Emotional availability, all of those in intentional dating. So you don't ever want to, what I hear you saying, and I know what we coach is, you don't ever want to negotiate for that type of chemistry.
Absolutely.
It's not a negotiation.
It's not a negotiation. And even compromising. You shouldn't be compromising because, there's a give and take.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're compromising, a lot of times that means you're going without something. Going without something. And so you should be able to give and show up, and they should be able to give and show up, but you give and show up in different ways.
And we are talking about both sides, not just one side. And one of the things I don't want to miss this point, because sometimes we do, you never want to argue someone into liking you correctly.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
Or convince them, them
and arguing with them.
My ex called me the other day. The other thing is trying to make them jealous. My ex called me the other day, and I could be still going out with, that's not loving from a healed place. That's not loving from a healed place. And when we're talking about standing firm, boundaries don't push the right person away.
Yes.
Boundaries don't push the right person away. What happens is it exposes the wrong person. Boundaries expose the wrong person. And that's what I love about it. It helps you to trim down and slim down what is going to work, what is willing to work through the process with you, and what is not.
I love it. It. It's not being rigid. It's not being cold. It just means being rooted in your standards. And so you got to have them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So how do you disassociate in a healthy way?
Mm-hmm.
I know that's some of the things we've talked about. That's some of the things that I coach and talk about. How do you do that in a healthy way?
Well, detachment should never be bitter. I'm one of those ones that still, I just recently blocked somebody, but I don't block. You know me, I don't block. I'm like, we cool.
But there's nothing wrong with blocking if you need.
Wrong with blocking. It's nothing wrong with blocking, because you may have some folk, like I said, you have some folk you may have to block, but it should not be a bitter thing. When you disassociate with someone or you're detaching from someone, it is with wisdom. And if that person is also in a healed place, one of the things I tell my clients, Demi, is you can always tell in a breakup if that person is healthy, because that person will go right on about their business, and so will you. Or the ones that keep calling you, keep showing up to your house, and you told them that it's over, that's a problem. Yeah. That's a toxic possessive, narcissistic type of behavior. That's not a healthy person. But if you are healthy and you decide, hey, this is just not working for us. Demi got plenty of, hopefully she brought you all some today. She got plenty of little short messages and texts you can give or say, depending on how much time you spent with them. And then just say, it's not working. It's not aligning with what I have in mind. And I'm dating intentionally right now and it's just not working. And they should be okay with that.
Yeah, this is not the connection I'm looking for. It was really nice meeting you. Something short and sweet. If that works for you, again, it's easier for you to just say, hey, I just won't answer the phone anymore. I mean, how much you give or how much you give back. I met you, we talked for a day, we met one time, you know, do you really owe them a long explanation?
No,
but I want to say, I talk about disassociating really from a fantasy. Because oftentimes we meet people and we go into this long thought or fantasy of what the potential is. And so we're never in the moment. We're so far in the future, we're missing those things right in front of us. Sometimes the good and sometimes the ugly. Because we've already seen ourselves down the line, married with children, a white picket fence, or whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah, you know, I always say after the first date, women got to stop coming home and trying to try on their last name on the front of your on the back of your first name.
So stop imagining this future after date number 2 or meet and greet number 1 or filling in the blanks. That's one of the things. Or
information. You haven't gathered enough information. Even on a job, you got to be on a job 90 days to know if they're going to keep you or not.
I say this because it is deeper for some of us. It's, hey, Tanya. One of the things is assigning, you have to stop assigning these meaning to small gestures. You know, sometimes people just do small things that are nice, but it doesn't mean they're in love. It doesn't mean that you're the one. It doesn't mean that they've chosen you.
Right, exactly. You know, Foggy brought flowers every time he came, but if you're not coming but once a month, it's easy to stop along the way at the grocery store or the Walgreens and grab them $5. Yes, but is that real effort, women and men? Even for men, if you're giving and birthday gifts and you're doing something for your woman, and then your birthday come around and she's expecting you to take her out on your birthday. I mean, this goes for men too. It goes both ways.
Yeah,
they just not that into you. They just don't like you like that. Let's put something in the chat. What we were asking them to put in the chat. We're gonna add because we got a couple more people on there. Put something in the chat for us if you're watching and you have been out with someone or dated someone in the past and you had to do the hard truth and walk away. Give us a heart. We're gonna see some hearts. You had to, and that heart is for you. That heart is for you that you actually loved yourself enough to say, he ain't into me like that, and I'm not getting ready to, because he's not showing up, so I'm not getting ready to hang around. Put it, and if you're watching later, put your heart in there too. If you had the courage to do that instead of staying with somebody because Valentine's around the corner or Christmas is around the corner,
And if he does like you like that, and if it's going well, the same things are in place. You're not over romanticizing. You're not putting things, you are going slow. You are taking your time. So I know I always teach clients, I know you do too, the date with curiosity, not this emotional over investment, because I think that's what takes us too far down the road and we miss things. So I want you all to ask yourself, is a person showing up for me? Are they showing up? Or am I filling in the gaps with hope?
Yeah, that matters. I was watching, there's Boris Kodjoe has, and I never know if it's Kodjoe or Kodjoe, it's pronounced different for different people, but he, the actor was model, has a special, I think it's on Netflix, but it was really good because she made him wait for 4 months. He pursued her for 4 years. He pursued her for 4 years. And she said she just really needed to know Was he sincere, or she just didn't want to be one of the another pretty face that he came after? And I'm not saying that you have to have someone pursuing you for 4 years, but the fact was for her, I needed to see if he was going to show up consistently. Is he seriously doing this and on a consistent basis? Because a lot of people put their best face forward the first month, 2, 3, even 4 months. And Demi, you know, we both know you could date somebody for 8, 10 months and still you're getting to know them.
Yeah, you really, really are. So that kind of leads us right into, if they do like you, you'll see. So weeks 1 through 4, we all know that's a honeymoon stage, right? That's where the curiosity and the consistency and intentional effort on both parts. And there's no pressure for instant labels, which is really interesting because I know that falls on us as women. We immediately
Am I
want.
your girlfriend yet? Am I your woman? You
Yeah.
introduced me as your friend. I ain't your woman.
It happens. You know, again, it's rushing. It's rushing. And then months 2 through 3, you know, that's a little deeper conversation. I know some of the things I coach on are questions that you can have that you don't feel like you're giving out all of your personal information to every single person. And each person you leave, they have this everything about Demi, right? So there's questions where you can get down to the core of who they are and have some real deep conversation. You find out if your values align through these type of discussions. These are important months.
Let me say this. There is early on in these months that you're talking about, Demi, you have to figure out if this person is even worthy to have some of this deep information about you.
Right.
They haven't even earned all of the information that you're telling them about, and you don't know them. And one of the things I do know with dealing with abusive people and toxic relationships is if they're the wrong person and you're divulging all of this very intimate and deep childhood trauma or information of what you've come through and grown, they will take that and use it against you. And they haven't even earned that type of level of communication with you yet.
I'm glad you said that. And so that's why we have questions. That's why we have things that you can use to talk about and find out about each other, but it doesn't have anything deep about you. You're not peeling back so many of those layers. You know, in those months, you're going to meet each other's friends. Just a natural progression. It's not any type of urgency. And some people, what do you think about this? I know we've talked about it, so I already know what you're going to say, but I'm putting it out there. And I want to ask the audience, I want to ask those of you that are watching, how soon do you let someone that you've met, that you're just getting to know, things seem to be going well, how soon do you meet each other's friends?
Oh, well, I think you should not be meeting anybody's friends or family the first 3 months. Those 90 days, you're still getting to know each other. You're still getting to know each other. I don't know yet if you want to, if I'm going to even have you in my life to meet my friends or my family. But as you've gone and you're now 4 or 5 months in, and you just happen to be having someone's having an event and you want to invite them to share with you, I think that's fine. I thought you was going to ask the question of how soon do you bring them to your house?
Oh, no.
That's what I have seen so many times. They are inviting people to your house very, very early.
Yeah, never. But you know what? What's very interesting is I look at meeting friends, and I'm not saying your children or, you know, introducing to parents. I don't know the age groups here, but I think it's perfectly fine if you go out with a group of friends.
Yeah.
I like that.
A friend. You're not dating, you're just gathering information.
And I like that. You know, what do your friends think? Sometimes your friends can see things that you don't necessarily see.
Yeah.
It's no different if I met someone, you all know I play golf. If I met someone and I've met a cool person, I'm like, hey, we're doing something over a friend's house and they're having a barbecue and come on over.
And you all know that me and Demi don't agree on everything.
Yeah.
That's what makes us who we are. And I love that. Because I don't want you meeting my friends that early. Because you may not be coming around no more, and we just not doing. But I get it. I agree. If you just going out and they're going out, we going to bowl or whatever. Come on, join us. You're just a friend.
Yeah.
I need to make sure you're not crazy and thinking we dating. And now when I don't want you to go, oh, you ain't inviting me. That's why I say.
And that's what we don't, but I like it. I think it's fun. I think people get uncomfortable. And I think we talked about this last week with, maybe I'm with a different person this week and next week I'm with a different person, but hey,
yes.
we're
And we
single.
really do have to get rid of that stigma. I agree with Demi for sure, wholeheartedly on that. Stop worrying about what people think. You are dating. That means you're gathering information. You're going to be out with different friends. It is okay. Someone asked, I think in one of the first two podcasts, Dr. Conti, how do you feel being a public person and someone see you out dating and you may be dating multiple people? And what I said was, Jimmy Crack Corn, let them.
Say Jimmy Crack Corn.
Jimmy Crack Corn. Who cares? What does that matter? It doesn't matter. We got to not so wrapped up in what people think, but finding for you what's the right thing for you. And that could be, like you said, you're just going out with friends and you may see me with a friend this week and another friend next week. But the reason we have that stigma, Demi, is because people assume you're sleeping with all of these people. Yeah. And you don't have to be sleeping with someone to just be gathering information.
Just hanging out, getting to know each other, and the other thing I will say, because we talked about, if someone rushes exclusivity, if they're rushing that, if love language declarations, future talk in 1 week, the first week they're talking about how you're going to be my wife, you're going to be my husband. That's not romance. That's truly anxiety.
Consistency is the timeline. That's the timeline. If you're being consistent on a regular basis for a considerable amount of time and watching that, and that's what matters. And if this person is into you and they do like you like that, it doesn't have to be a rush, and it's going to be comfortable, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to be gathering information, learning one another, organically getting to know one another. And before you know it, if it's right and you're getting to know each other, it's 6 months have passed, 9 months have passed. Oh my gosh, we're about to go up on a year. And you're like, wow. And you know what? This has been really, really nice. But nobody was rushing. Nobody was pressured. Nobody was saying, hey, when we get engaged, when we get married. We were just organically getting to know one another. And that's how it should.
No rushing intimacy to create any type of closeness. That comes from the communication. No forcing labels to ease any type of anxiety.
Yeah. Healthy love does not rush. Healthy love does not rush. And healthy love, when you walk away, there is not a problem. It is okay. So it also doesn't mean that there's never going to be time when you have to communicate about something. It's not all of the same kind of confusion.
So if they're not consistent, non-committal, emotionally unavailable, resistant to clarity, walking away isn't rejection. What do you always say?
It's wisdom. Self-discovery is the best recovery. And when you walk away, you've discovered that there's something about you inside, internally, externally, that is not jiving with this person. And you've discovered that. And so the only way to recover and get what you do want is you got to get away from what you don't want or what's not working for you.
Because the right person is never going to require you to abandon yourself.
That's right. And closure is a one-person activity. You don't need to get together and meet with them and let's discuss it. And you don't need that. You just need one of Demi's quick little texts.
I love it. I got enough of them. I got enough of them. Just a little quick text. Just a little quick
It
text.
takes, because we want to hold on. We had a conversation about that today, and we decided that's going to be next week's topic, because sometimes we can see stuff like it doesn't even have to be big. It doesn't have to be glaring. It just, you see it. There don't even need to be another conversation. It doesn't even need to be a date. It doesn't need to be a FaceTime. It doesn't need to be anything. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Walking away is not losing, it's choosing yourself. Walking away is not losing, it is choosing yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to say, I was just kind of in closing, we're right there. So remember, they don't like you like that. And if they do, you won't have to chase. You won't have to decode anybody. What did you say? We don't have to rush.
You have to rush.
Have to convince them.
Mm-mm.
Dating differently just means we are observing the behavior. We're protecting our capacity. We're moving intentionally.
Yes. And it feels good. It feels good to be able to say, look, you know what? I want something more from me. I want something better for me. I'm going to say this story before we close. When I really realized and this was years ago, I had a pilot literally follow me off the plane and try to talk to me. Now the old me would have been, oh my God, the pilot, he followed me off the plane. I got his number. And so I got his number. We talked a couple of times, and he happened to have the route from here to Dallas, Demi. And so I don't think I've ever even told you this story. And so he contacted me and said, hey, my flight is in. I want you to come out and meet me. But what I realized is a pilot has to get X amount of hours of sleep. They cannot have any drinks before X amount of time before flying. And it was late. It was like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. By the time you get to your hotel, it's going to be 11. You fly back out at 6. Hey, Kevin, we're good. You fly back out at 6 a.m. in the morning. So what time do we have to spend together? And so when he said, well, why don't you come on out? And I'm like, oh, at that time I lived in Katy. I'm going to come from Katy and drive all the way to Intercontinental, have a cocktail. You can't drink. And then I'm going to drive all the way back. No, I realized he just didn't like me like that, because first of all, you wouldn't have asked me to come out that time of night.
Yes.
You would have, if you did, you would have had a car pick me up and take me back. And I just said, well, you know what? I appreciate you wanting to see me, but let's do it some other time when you have more time. You fly free. You're a pilot. When you have time to fly in and we spend the day together. And guess what? We did not talk anymore. Yep. And I was okay. And I was like, yes, I got it. Because the old me would have been like, oh, he's a pilot. I'll go out there. I'll drive out there. No, he didn't want me like that. He wanted a booty call or what have you. It wasn't respect. It wasn't somebody that was intentional. And we are just at an age, I would think, that we all want to be dating intentionally right now. So you got to be able to, I don't care how much money they have. I don't care what kind of job they have, women or men. You got to be able to know when someone really likes you or they're just after you for sex or money or what have you. We're just too old to not be dating intentionally.
Yeah. So dating differently means you just don't abandon yourself. Like I said, for attention, you're not going to rush this clarity, and you're going to stay where you're not going to stay where effort is inconsistent.
Absolutely.
That's what we're not going to do. We're excited. I'm excited about next week, though. I know we already talked about it.
I am too, because again, we be holding on. People be holding on to stuff like, what you holding on to this still for now, right? But black in space is a space holder.
I love it. So whether they like you like that or not, your job is to like yourself enough to walk away or move forward really with intention.
That's right. Because the door that closes in peace opens the space for something more healthier.
Ooh. So I'm Demi.
And I'm Dr. Conti.
Yes. Join us next week where we help you continue
Yes.
to love intentionally
Heal completely
and date
differently.
differently.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. And for those who popped on late, good to see you, Kevin. And those who will be watching later, share this great information. Hey, Donna, enjoy the conversations, ladies. Thank you. Awesome, says Tanya. Thank you. All of that. We love you all. And you guys have a fantastic, phenomenal, victorious Valentine weekend.
Bye.
Love y'all. Bye-bye.